Hello, and welcome to a new segment I like to call Tech News, where throughout the week I will record a little bit more as more tech comes along. But what I do is I I ramble on about different news that there is, different different stuff that there is to talk about. So I have a couple different little I'm gonna span this over the course of the week, and then the Sunday at the and then that Sunday, and then on Sundays I will post previous week's tech news. And if this takes off, this takes off. But I will be over here, sitting in this almost same spot. Maybe the chair will be over that way, or over this way, but this way or this way, whatever. But I mean, it'll be in this little area here. I will talk about the current news from a bunch of different sites. Samsung is looking into buying QD Visions, a quantum dot display company, to buy Quantum Dot Vision, QD Vision. So, Samsung now uses AMOLED technology to power all of their displays, their TVs, phones, all this other stuff. And they're really there's much the AMOLED displays have a good amount of brightness to them. They're just they're really good. You can leave them on for, you can have like the always on display that you have in the S7, the S7 Edge, and all those devices. You have all of those, and with this, it allows you to have better battery life when you're running your phone with the screen constantly on. The battery life is a lot better. But so there is a good difference between Quantum Dot and AMOLED displays, where Quantum Dot is on their newest devices, on the newest lineup of SUHD TVs. And if you ever look at a picture, you'll notice that Quantum Dot is, per conventional LEDs, is clearer. The picture's clearer. The pictures have a lot more depth of field to their colors. You'll notice more vibrant colors. It could also make the cost of everything a lot less, so you'll be able to get maybe a 4K TV with the curve is now maybe $2,000. Maybe it'll just be $1,000. I doubt they'll ever do that, but it could be cheaper for buying when you buy a 4K TV with the curved. And, well, there are technically trade-offs between Quantum Dot and the AMOLED that we use now. It lasts longer, the price is ultimately lower, and the power efficiency uses a lot less power. The viewing angles. So Samsung will likely be interested in buying this as time goes on. But Samsung's AMOLED, people have just become accustomed to it, where they just like it. I mean, there's not much more than just liking it. And it'll probably also be better in the long run for smartphones, where you will be where having the screen on won't use up as much power consumption as it does now, where you'd be able to you'd be able to power your phone with the brightness all the way up. Instead of it, let's say, lasting 3 hours of screen on, it could last you 5, 6 hours of full screen on time. So because it does have a lower power consumption, which means that it would be a lot better for phones to incorporate this technology. And if Samsung buys it, maybe it'll come out for different devices. I'm not too sure, but maybe they will have different devices there. So, with that said, that's just Samsung's interest in buying the company QD Vision. So, with that being said, let's just hop into the next part of the news. So, in different news, Chase Pay was officially launched. It was originally a crowded field it launches technically in a crowded field of mobile payment apps where there's Android Pay, Apple Pay, Samsung Pay, and then there are different companies. I think Bank of America has their own payment system. I don't even know. A bunch of different companies have their own payment systems, and now Chase comes along to the field. As of right now, it is only available in Starbucks and Best Buy. And apparently Walmart has Walmart Pay. But I don't know. But it's only available in Starbucks and Best Buy right now. And you could go online now and view up to 90 days worth of transaction history. So you can manage more of your payments than you could before. And and well, it'll officially at one point support Touch ID, where you could press the fingerprint sensor and you will be able to help with payment through that, make it faster. And it'll expand to other retailers in the future, including Walmart. Ironically, because there's Walmart Pay already. Select Shell gas stations, along with Phillips 66, Conco 76, ShopRite, and the Fresh Grocer. And Chase Pay app can also be used to check your account balances. Instead of you having to have the Chase app, maybe you have the Chase Pay app, and you'll be able to check your balance that way if that's the only thing you do. Otherwise, just stick with the Chase app, and you'll have all the full features. So, well, launching the Chase Pay app and all the bunch of different payment apps is weird because there's Samsung Pay, Apple Pay, and Android Pay, which makes it weird that they would launch their own payment system when they already support Samsung and Android Pay and Apple Pay. So why wouldn't they want to support? Why would they want to make their own app? I mean, I really don't know. But as of right now, it is a good option since over 1 million people use Chase, and this could be one of the ways to actually get people to want to use Chase, because they'll have their own mobile payment app where it'll be secure, safe, and they won't have to worry about their account having to be their email address or credit card, debit card, whatever, be having to be linked up with Samsung or Google. So now it'll just be right there, hooked up only with Chase, not hooked up to your Google account where you may be randomly charged for something. You could actually charge something to your account, or someone can hack into your Google account and get your card information. This way, no one will be able to hack into your information, blah, blah, blah. So there are a good number of reasons to have it, but I definitely would recommend, if you have Chase, trying out this Chase Pay and seeing if you like it, because as of now it's Starbucks and Best Buy. So if you're going to go into a Starbucks, I recommend testing it out. If you're going to go into Best Buy to buy something, I recommend, if you have Chase, to use Chase Pay I don't know if it works with only NFC or if you can use it normally, but I recommend trying it out, testing it out, seeing if you like it. And if you do, then definitely leave a comment or review in the app section of the Play Store or App Store. Leave a comment and a review and let them know that you like it and that you want it to expand so it becomes faster, more popular, faster. So, with that said, download Chase Pay because Chase officially announced it and it's out. So, without further ado, we're gonna go on to the next set of news. So, in early 2017, Google's going to end support for the Google Play services on Android Gingerbread 2.3. So anybody with an old Android 2.3 device should probably get rid of it and sell to someone who wants it as a collector's item maybe, or wants to just have it for the fun of it. Because Google Play services will officially be ended in the early 2017, and it'll be increased. The support will be minimum Android version 4.0.1 ice cream sandwich. But according to Google, only 1.3% of all Android users use Android 2.3 Gingerbread, which means the same number of people use Android 4.0.1 or just 4.0 ice cream sandwich. So why not end support for both and make it Jelly Bean and above? Because I know some people still use Jelly Bean because they have older devices that work well enough for calling and texting, but they don't want to really upgrade because they don't care to waste their money if they're just going to be calling and texting. But it's just weird. So the OS did launch in 2010. I mean, it will ditch it in a few months to provide a more robust collection of tools for Android developers with greater speed. So this change will mostly affect app developers, but it shows that Google is also slowly but surely ending support for older versions of Android, which means that any phone company that's still making phones that have either Android 2.3, 4.0, 4.2, 4.3, 4.4, and not just 5.0 or above, should really just get off the lazy tuchses and fix what they're doing. And officially 6.0 has been out for a long time. Just start making devices that run Android 6.0 because that's currently right now one of the newest second to newest operating system, where a ton of developers still have to make the changes to support all the different aspects of Android 7.0 that need to be fixed, like all the different I always forget what to say about that, but there's a bunch of different things that Google said you have to have. Like with USB-C, there has to be a certain protocol that you have to have. So if you don't have that, then you have to make support for it. So you can stick with Android 6 because Android 7.0 has all those different protocols that you need. But just make devices that have Android 6.0. I mean, seriously, it's not that hard. Just easy to make them with 4.0, 5.0, and all that. So just make them with Android 6, Android Marshmallow, because it's Android 6, 6.0.1, 6.1, 6.1.2, all the things up to 7.0. So just do it. Make it simpler for all of us. So, with that said, we're going to pop to the next part of the news. So the next item is business is about Samsung. Again, where Harman Audio Tech could appear in 2018's Galaxy S devices, Galaxy Note, if they choose to keep the Galaxy Note branding after the Note 7's Fire, whatever. happened with the booms. So, as Samsung recently partnered with Harman Kardon, all of their audio, they recently partnered with them. So, sparkling rumors that the South Korean company was gearing up to make cars. But if they partnered up with Harman Kardon to make cars with their audio in it, that could mean something. But Samsung said no. They denied that fact, that claim, that its automotive industry concerns in-car IoT solutions, meaning they'll have Samsung technology in the cars, but it won't be a Samsung car. But, however, a Samsung senior vice president, has suggested that Harman Audio Technologies could feature in its 2018 smartphones, meaning it won't be 2017's S8s or Note 8 if it decides to keep the Note again, but so you won't see it in the next version. You may not see it in the next version of Samsung devices, but maybe you will. But it will take some time for the acquiring to complete. Hopefully it'll complete before the S8 or Note 8, if that ever does come out, is released. So the Harman sound technology has been seen before in the HTC One M8 Sprint Edition, Harman Kardon Edition, and the Huawei's MediaPad M3. So it has been seen before in phones. So maybe we'll see it in the 2018 Galaxy S devices, maybe not. But we'll find out later on in all the tech news. And Samsung is confirmed to buy QT Vision. It has been confirmed. So there are cool things in tech, some funny news, whatnot. So the first news is there is a new battery technology that could charge your smartphone in just a few seconds. I don't really know what it's called, but it's from scientists of the University of Central Florida, or UCF. They've managed to create a prototype of a supercapacitor battery that is able to store more energy and charge a lot faster. So we potentially could see with the newer technologies of battery, we could see maybe a week's worth of battery life, or even without a week's worth of battery life, we could just still have our day of battery life. But maybe it'll last a lot longer on standby, and all we have to do is, if we're late for a meeting, maybe 5 seconds later it's charged at 100%, and you don't have to worry about yourself ever running out of battery where you're never going to be able to charge it fast enough. You'll be able to just charge 4 seconds, 5 seconds later, however long it is, and then it will last you the whole day again. So this technology also will allow a battery to be charged 30,000 times. 30,000 before it ever starts degrading, before you ever need to replace the battery. That, I don't know how long a battery lasts normally, but that is a long time. And it's still in early development phase, so don't get too excited about it being released soon. It could be released in 2018 to 2020. It does give us hope that our agony of running out of battery too fast will be over, and we'll be able to just, I don't know, stick a portable battery onto our phones. 4 seconds later, 5 seconds later it's charged, and then we put the battery back in our pockets and we're good. So it's the UCF team plans on patenting this new technology. It could be used in quite a few industries: smartphones, tablets, and smartwatches. That could also come in electric vehicles. It also allows for electric vehicles to significantly improve their range and fully charge in just a few minutes. Nice? Well, what are your thoughts? Comment down below on what you think about this technology. How do you think it'll prevail? When you think it'll come out? And on to the next little part of this discussion. Twitter actually bans its CEO, Jack Dorsey, temporarily suspended. So he was 15 minutes of being suspended. That was over. No one really knows why he was suspended. Could it have been a glitch? And all that. So his followers realized that he was suspended, and they found it funny, so they tweeted. So Baked Alaska tweeted, haha, at Jack Dorsey got suspended from his own platform. Meme magic is real, folks. Thankfully, the issues were sorted out quickly, and Jack was back up on the network and tweeting, saying, I'm setting up my Twitter again. First tweet ever, which is in reference to the first tweet ever posted back in 2006. Dorsey also stated that the account suspension was an internal mistake, but he did not provide any further info. And let's personally hope that no one gets fired over at Twitter for any of this, because it shouldn't be anything that someone should get mad about. And so that was just weird. The company hopes to turn things around, though, by venturing into video content and bringing new features to the table, QR codes, anti-harassment features, and shortcut multi-windows, and more. So there could be a whole ton of features. And yeah, so it's just really funny that that could happen. I don't know how it could have happened. Could have been an issue where they banned the wrong account or anything, but how funny do you think this is? Comment down below. So OnePlus, the company with the smartphone, OnePlus 1, 2, and 3, and then now the OnePlus 3T. So they have a store now only available in India where you can purchase OnePlus stuff from. Fans can pick up travel bags, branded t-shirts, to show off their support for the unconventional company, which is, I don't know how they got the name Unconventional, because Google's the unconventional company originally. So this is the unconventional company because they use different technology than what Google or anybody else uses, so which makes them unconventional. But there are only 4 items on sale right now. There's there you might find the large travel backpack, travel messenger bag. It contains enough to hold a 13-inch laptop. So it's only available in black or blue-gray colors. So there's travel backpack, which is for the Indian RS. It's $2,999. The messenger bag is RS $2,999. The Never Settle t-shirt is RS $999, and the Dash Charge t-shirt is $999. So the OnePlus is currently picked up on the official website for RS $27,999. So the company has also confirmed that it's looking to bring the OnePlus 3T to that market. So this is pretty cool. You can buy OnePlus gear. I hope it comes to the States, to different countries. I know I'm asking for so much comments, but comment down below what you think will happen. On to our next item of business is that the Google Cast branding, like just the thing called Google Cast, is no longer going to be called Google Cast. It's going to be called Chromecast built-in. So it's quietly moving the term Google Cast for TVs and connected speakers that work with the Chromecast streaming media device. So basically, when you have a speaker or TV that works with the Chromecast to be able to stream from your phone, you press, you go into YouTube, I don't know, you go in there, then on top there's a square, if it loads here. Usually, I don't even know. Usually when you're loading a video, I'll just go to mine, hopefully it'll work. Here we go. There should be a square on there. I mean, there's a square, it shows there, it shows 3 lines, I forget where, but what it is that's the Google Cast option available. So they're ditching that. They're doing it because they want to consolidate this. They want to do the name change because they want to consolidate its streaming media brand under a more familiar name. Because people know Chromecast. They don't know what the Google Cast. Is that something else? Does it work with your phone. You're gonna have to do some research to find out. So it's they want to do it so confusion among consumers who want to buy, because Google Cast, as I said, could cause confusion against consumers who want to buy who want to buy a TV or speaker that works with the Chromecast. So if there's an option to be able to connect to your, let's say you have wireless speaker system, like, or you buy yourself a stereo amplifier that says Google Cast built in, meaning you can connect the Chromecast to this device. You'll be confused and not know what it actually means. You'll think it means that you can stream just your phone through the Wi-Fi to it. It means that, but it also means that you can stream your Chromecast to the audio part of it to it. But it could cause confusion. So they got rid of it. So the news was announced Tuesday on the official Google Cast Twitter account. So they said, for Google Cast, new name on Twitter, same device stream from and love. So now it's just Google Chromecast, not just Google Cast. So the name change shouldn't come as a shock, as the official Google Cast app has already got a few name changes to Google Home a few weeks ago, just before the connected speaker with the same name was first announced. It may be difficult to keep up with, but it'll cause less confusion in the future to consumers. Like, I didn't personally, I wouldn't have known that Google Cast means that you can do Chromecast with it, but now I'll know. So now on to our next item of business here. There's 5 things that Nokia and HMD Global need to do for a successful 2017 Android launch, because with Symbian OS with Nokia having rumors about a phone being announced, they originally had the Symbian OS, which was the hottest smartphone of 2003 to I don't even know when it was. But then the iPhone was announced, and everybody's flocked over. So then in February of 2011, Elop announced that Nokia has signed a partnership with Microsoft to make Windows phones its primary operating system instead of Symbian OS. But at the time, Nokia was the biggest maker of smartphones. Now, as you know, it's iPhone, Samsung, LG, Huawei, and Google, all these big names now that you hear. That it's pretty ridiculous that they are not big anymore out of how big they were before the Microsoft launch. So it launched. Apparently, it launched 3 Android phones: the Nokia X, XL, X Plus, and XL. So after the deal was closed, Microsoft quickly closed their Android division, so that they wouldn't even be able to use Android at all, which was, in my opinion, that makes Microsoft the biggest retards in the world, and Microsoft should go kill themselves over this, because you're just pushing someone back. You don't, even though your line could just become big, it's just so ridiculous. I don't know. But in 2015, the company launched the Android-based N1 tablet. Its agreement with Microsoft to not cover tablet products, so they were able to launch it. Thumbs up on not agreeing about tablets. So the name Nokia still continues to be the world's most known mobile phones worldwide, but they still have a few things they need to fix. They shouldn't be afraid to innovate, meaning open to new things like iPhones did. They don't, because they had the 41 megapixel rear camera that launched in 2013. They shouldn't be, the Lumia 1020, they shouldn't be afraid to implement that into an Android phone, because I don't want people to buy it because it's Android and it has an excellent camera. And the camera hub, it was a big camera, as you can see right here. It was a big camera. It's just, it doesn't protrude as much as a Samsung S4 camera phone, so I would recommend doing that. It had released a number of apps that were ahead of its time, including AR. They were the ones who originated the AR. And HMD also needs to offer things. Release smartphones to every audience. Like, there should be like smartphones for every audience. Like, Samsung has phones for every audience. There's the On5 for the people who can't spend $500, don't care to spend $500, just want a cheap smartphone but want the Samsung branding. Then there's the Galaxy J series, which is more like $200 price range. Then there's the S series. Then there's the is or was Note series, which caters to the people who love big tablets carrying around with them. Like me, I rock a 6-inch phone. I love the big phones. I would like the Samsung Note because of the stylus on it, but I don't know if they'll continue making them. So there was a 6-inch Lumia 1520, and my friend had that. That was a great phone. The only problem is that it had Windows on. If it was Android, it would have been perfect. Then they released a 4-inch Lumia 520, a budget phone. I've used it. It was good enough for people who wanted a cheap phone. And they also offered a range. They offered a range of devices for people who just needed a cheap way, who just need a cheap phone, all the way to customers who want to get all the latest in hardware and software. But the tablet industry is a bit of a slowdown, and personally, that's something that really isn't that bad. But in the 2-in-1 industry now, they should make a two. They could I think there's Lenovo Yoga Book something. It runs Android, and then there's a Windows version of it. They're both really high end. Nokia could do the same exact thing, and they should keep the nostalgia factor. People loved using Nokia phones, including listening to their ringtone. Nokia needs to use that song and other items from its history of a partner company in new clever ways to help promote marketing new smartphones. And it will certainly help Nokia break away from the Windows platform itself, that people associated with Nokia being crap still known. So I recommend keep the old nostalgic things that people love about the old Nokia phones, and keep the old nostalgic factors and put that into your new smartphones, but try to keep it thin. I don't know how thin you want it. Try to keep it thin. And then, personally, do not mention anything that has to do with the old Microsoft or Windows phones. Don't mention anything about it. There is still likely going to be people that are going to say, oh, it's crap because it had Windows on it before, so it's going to be crap now. Don't mention it. Let people try the phones out. Then eventually people will realize how good the phones are, and then eventually, within like 3-4 years, you can mention is something about Windows. People forget so much about that they won't even care. Now, our conclusion is that there will be high hopes and expectations from the market of Nokia within the next couple of years. I personally hope that there will be a big market for people wanting to actually get some Android smartphones from them. I personally hope, if they make a great phone, I personally hope to have enough money at one point to be able to buy one of them, be able to see how good they are. Maybe they'll compete with the top of the line flagship at the time. Hopefully they will. I'll pick one up because it's Nokia, and maybe it'll actually be good. So, on our next item of business, the Google's Pixel phones, the XL and just the Pixel, they both get double tap to unlock and lift to wake features. So, they are the Android phones to have right now, but they're still missing some much liked features from the Nexus 6P and 5X. So the models lack the features to double tap and do all this stuff to them. So some Canadians are reporting that the OTA updates are allowing them to double tap and allowing them to lift up to unlock. So the iPhone owners received a raise to wake feature with iOS 10, which earlier came from the Moto's active display, where if you lifted it up, there would be an active display. So Nougat updates pretty quickly, including features like Daydream VR. The Pixel modders, however, are still ones to have if you want all the Google's newest treats first. So if you like getting updates first and you care about the updates and you have the money to spend, you're going to spend on a high-end phone. Get the Pixel or the Pixel XL, depending on which size you really just prefer. But as Droid Life details, you'll need to activate the new features once you get the OTA update, or if you're brave enough to sideload it if you can't get it in your area first. Do so, just go to Moves in the General Settings, and flip on Double Tap to check phone and Lift to check phone. So those will allow you to, in essence, the phone's straight, I don't know how straight this is, you lift it up and the phone will turn on, but mine doesn't have that feature, or you'll be able to double tap and the phone will just turn on. So that's just a cool feature to have. Then there is a cool thing. So my cool thing is that, as most people know, or most older people know, maybe even young people love the Solitaire free cell game on their Windows computers. So, starting with Windows 98, it was originally available for Windows 98. So, with this being said, there is a Windows 98. It came originally out in Windows 98, the free cell and Solitaire, and it's available still in Windows 10. And I personally love the Windows version of Solitaire and free cell enough that it's totally awesome that they came out with an app for the phone. So I'm not going to promise anything, but the link to it may be down below in the description. I'm not promising anything, but just to be clear, just in case the link isn't down below, which I may forget, it is over here called Microsoft Solitaire Collection from Microsoft Corporations. So it gives you all the 5 classic Solitaire games in one. So it literally gives you all of the old versions just in the new graphics that they made for it. So they're all really cool features. So if you liked this segment of tech news on Sundays, comment down below about whether you like it or not. Subscribe, all the default YouTuber stuff to say, and I'll see you next week with the next news for the week.